everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Cowboys going up against the Lions. With that, let's head up to Detroit as we say hello to our guys, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone, and no run. Line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys.
We're awake, we're alive, got the fire in our eyes. We're the kings, we're the queens, and if this is just a dream, don't wanna wake up. Let this feeling break up. We're running free, running wild. The stuff, got the never giving up, not gonna shake us. Nothing's gonna break us. You know the part of the song, everybody sings along. Well, that's us, listen up, shout it out, I'm talking all night. The end is nowhere in sight. From the streets to the tracks, here's to never looking back, cause the past doesn't last.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's the Bills going up against the Lions. With that, let's send you indoors to Ford Field in Detroit as we welcome in our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions.
Monday. Here we go. At 80.
On first down, Stafford here. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a second down. So here's the lineup, and in the backfield, it's Abdullah.
Amir Abdullah, if it had been up to a lot of college coaches, would be an all-pro corner. But he knew he wanted to be a running back, and has proven why. Can run it, can catch it, and return kicks.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Ebron caught left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Here's the 11 starters on defense for Buffalo, and the new coaching staff really coming in. They can look at two numbers, kind of yin and yang. They're good against the pass, 6th in the league, 29th, though, against the run.
Well, if you look at this new coaching staff that has taken over in Buffalo and trace their past, it starts with them stopping the run, because they are a very aggressive, blitz-happy type of a group, but it only begins with stopping the run first. So I expect that number to improve in 2017 for Buffalo. Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Stafford on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. A second down run for Abdullah. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, this past season was tough for Abdullah. Foot injury costing him the last 14 games of the year, and that was a big blow. They could never really get that running game going, could they?
It changed everything for them, because Theo Riddick, who is his backup, is really a third down back, the guy that they want to use out of the backfield to catch passes in open space. He had to become more of a runner, and I think that limited his effectiveness at doing what he does best. Amir Abdullah was drafted to be their lead runner. If they keep him healthy, that'll help the Lions offense in 2017.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Complete to right. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They come out here in the eye. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. For McCoy this year, 5th time in his 8-year career that he's topped the 1,000-yard mark. Charles, first time he's done it with the Bills, though, finished with 1267.
And he's the type of player that you can build around. And what I mean by that is, as a runner, as a pass catcher, he does a little bit of everything, and he opens up the offense for everyone else around him, the complementary players. But he's a guy, heavy-duty ball carrier, and also get him in space, and he can break people down.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Again, it's McCoy, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
DeAndre Levy is one of those linebackers who makes everyone around him better when he's on the field.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Even though it fell incomplete, you see the value of a mobile quarterback. Great pass rush, but he was able to get away and still try to make something happen.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now Taylor to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit for the Bills, led by Dan Carpenter. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Carpenter knocks it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that, boy, lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew that really could make some noise again next year, don't you?
I do, because I think they gained so much confidence this season, battling back from a tough beginning, working their way into where they looked like they had a chance to win the division. And while they didn't do that, they did get into the playoffs. Despite a myriad of injuries, they think this team has a bright future, and they feel confident about 2017.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Corey Graham. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He's going to look deep down the field. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down. Now Taylor. He's got time. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9. Here we go on fourth down with Taylor. On the move to his left. Now he'll turn, and this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 26. An incredible play there on fourth down. 43 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's got room. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it'll be a Buffalo first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. That is incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They go play action now. Taylor rolling to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And Carpenter knocks it through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Ebron caught left side. Give him 18 on that one. And it's good enough for a Detroit first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. Now loose football. The ball comes out, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they... Timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route.
I know the object for us when we call games is to be neutral, but I have to tell you, I am rooting so hard for Sammy Watkins to have an injury-free next season, just to see everything that he can do and give himself the best opportunity so that we can see it.
Yeah, over the last 2 years, he's missed 11 games. It's tough. The one bright spot for him, though, is Clemson Tigers did win the national championship.
Yeah, I think that's going to give him a little bit of comfort, but what he wants more than anything, a healed foot and a chance to be the #1 receiver he was drafted to be.
And Buffalo wants that, too.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Watkins alone on the left side. Now it's Taylor. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it.
Let's go!
They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. And it is incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins. Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Stafford looks to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw them well with a whole lot of confidence. Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On second down, Taylor. Right side complete. That's Woods. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They try the corner route there, Charles, and it works to perfection.
Boy, that's hard on a defensive back because if you get any fake or move to the inside, you have to respect it, and then the receiver breaks back to the sideline.
And the wideout in motion. Throwing now, Taylor on first down, surveying the field. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sean Robinson able to drop him for a loss of 4. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On second down, here's Taylor. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Taylor now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, third and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On first down, it's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, They're trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. His throw incomplete. Sammy Watkins the intended target, and that'll make it third down. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Tough spot for the offense, 3rd and 8. Watkins alone on the left side. On 3rd down, Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. On 1st down, Abdullah fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Amir Abdullah, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part 2 of the screen, he forgot part 1, couldn't get the ball. Back to throw, Stafford. And Tate's got it. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They come up in an offset eye. Stafford on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's now 4th and 3.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job 1. A touchdown certainly would have been nice. But here, you get back on even terms. And now you get the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Second down following the run. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, Taylor. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll go again to McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
One thing that you find out on a sweep play is the fortitude of the people running it. Because that is a run, and then there's some contact when you finally get to the edge. And those guys who can hold that point of attack and hold up on that contact, they create the plays that we just saw there. Really nice play by the defensive guys.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now Taylor got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it's 1st down, Buffalo. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. In motion, the tight end, Clay. They go back to the ground with McCoy. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ezekiel Ziggy-Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU, was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really likes soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential. He's realizing it here.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw is Taylor. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, they were in the red zone, and they needed a first down. Was it a surprise to you that they went to the tight end?
Not at all. I thought, though, the defense might put a little more pressure on him, but still able to complete it. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Sean Robinson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down. They go play action now. Taylor rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ziggy-Ansah getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And Carpenter knocks it through, and the Bills have taken the lead. So all 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
And all these field goals are great, but it's touchdowns that win games for you in the NFL. So you just wonder if settling for 3 on some of these drives is going to come back to haunt them.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happened.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Corbin Bryant with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On second down, here's Stafford. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Third and long, it's Stafford. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Robert Blanton. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And here come the Bills. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On second down, Taylor. And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. Well, there was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So here's third and 20 with a long yardage. Defense going with a nickel look. Now Taylor. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Colton Schmidt now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They come up in an offset eye. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going up top. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And in this situation with a lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Here we go. Try at 38. Try at 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Let's go! Try at 38! Try at 38!
On second down, it's McCoy. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Taylor now to throw on third down. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done. Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bills will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. You can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
So out now come the Lions. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone.
All right, boys, here we go. Libra. 25. Monday. Set, waiting.
Stafford. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And 4th down coming up.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled. And while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Come on, let's go. Try it 38. Try it 38.
Out of the Wildcat, it's Bush. Now McCord. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Got it left. Come on.
Taylor going to throw it. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Taylor. This is caught. Watkins. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And this looks to probably be the final play.
Come on, let's go.
Here's Taylor. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here.